Here, YouTube, I got this new thing. It's called getting fucked in the ass. Nah, JK. I'm just kidding. Because, what it is, it's anime characters moving to the side. And what that means is, fucked in the ass is an expression when fighting. If you actually watch anime correctly, outside of subs, if you actually know what they're saying in Japan, they're saying, literally, I'm gonna fuck you in the ass like Frieza versus Goku. I'm gonna fuck you in the ass so bad you can't revive the Saiyan race. They're saying hellish shit like, literally. How you gonna fuck me in the ass when I just had a power up? It's very, calculated. And what happens is you have to be 29 in order to view anime this way because what you have to do is you have to be at the level of for Neverworld and understand, literally that everything's connected to the mafia, to a certain point. Literally, you have to look at realistically what they're saying versus, on paper and subtitles. So literally, it's just like this. Literally, how can I get fucked in the ass if I have the Shiko Hochi? So this video, especially this video, is made from back when I was the real Kyler Curry, back when I was going to anime conventions, and this is a real life video that plays off the current situation. So in other words, this is back when I was watching My Hero Academia, going to a Yu-Gi-Oh Club. So this is a very important, piece of information. So here's the thing, the full story is I sang Balanica every single day. It's a rapping fast principle, and I was also going to be Oob from Dragon Ball Z. I literally got a six-pack just to be Oob. So my Amy automatically eliminated didn't work because they double implied that I was an adult. And I'm like, that's retardation. You can't literally double imply and not give somebody a full reward. That's the whole beauty of being an adult is I can travel, I can do everything, So what this is a play off the current video, and what ended up happening was I was Deku at one time and I was Yugi at one time. Back when I had gym membership at 24 Hour Fitness. Brace yourself, this is a full, intricate story. Because cosplay got so far that I was going to be Axel Brody from Yu-Gi-Oh GX. If you don't know, Axel Brody is the only black character in that anime. And what you don't understand, there was going to be a whole line of black characters that I was going to do, including, the one guy from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure that was Tupac. So this video is really me spilling the beans of everything, that I've been doing throughout the years because it ended, with me having no power but me making the right decision. Why did they, cut short when I was, on the level of regular ed when it came to thinking but not countering, which is, some pedophile shit. You can't, try and say a jig is up. Literally, what I got compared to a full-on Asian, their resources, and you can't, compare me to black people because you compare me to black people who specifically go to jail after being a stereotype, not keeping their options open. So the story goes like this. I had a baby mama who cosplayed as Uraraka, who we have a kid named Eric, Lily, and the kid named Eric, Lily, looks just like Nokia from Bleach. And Nokia plays with the PSP, and what ends up happening is I imagine this shit, side by side, her living in a pink house, her having a kid playing with the Nintendo DS, the kid knowing everything 24/7. Literally, her fooling people with a mob boss strategy, that shit is deep. And you know what's even fucking crazier? Is that literally, we were together when I was texting her at my job, literally, and then I texted her that I got promotion, and she didn't text back. I knew I was getting hacked. I knew the message back was specifically for the kid, and I couldn't do anything. We have unfinished business. So the story really gets intricate when I start going to 24 Hour Fitness when I have a schedule when I go to the actual Yu-Gi-Oh club. So what ended up happening after a while was Jane became a mascot because I can work out. So literally I could work like a Goku. I could use Jane as a motivational, figure where it came to playing sports and anime because Jane is both, sports and this and that. There was a thing literally with my mom when she forced me to be a temptation. Literally, while I learned through Chaz that I'm actually, a bad boy on the inside. You should obviously love your mother, and that's a story for another time. And this is crazy because what happened was, Yu-Gi-Oh Vrains came out, the year I started battling. So let me get intricate. First off, I have to admit where it comes to my deck. I have a Purple Poison Magician, no matter how strong your cards are. What Purple Magician does is it pops one card, after being destroyed. So, it's a pretty strong card, and that card was given to me by Anthony when he was selling at the Yu-Gi-Oh Club. But how the story about me and how the club first started was literally I was trying to adapt to Yu-Gi-Oh, and what happened was, I knew how to play through special ability because I was playing off GX. Now, if you don't know, GX is, the basis of Yu-Gi-Oh! You can act like it's a primitive, Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, but if you don't know, Alexis is actually in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. So it's a very, very, depth and detailed situation. Like my older brother Damo can't see me where it comes, Electro, where it comes to that Yu-Gi-Oh! Shit because I'm all generations. And the crazy thing about me when I go to Yu-Gi-Oh! Club is I'm all generations at once. And what happens literally is when I play out special ability, I recognize I get into a pawn with one chain feeds to another by an opponent in the club. So what I do is, at first what happens is, I get this complex like Yuya, Yuya Sakaki from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. And what Yuya is he's a pendulum summoner. If you don't know what pendulum is the type of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards that when you have two cards in the field, it creates a pendulum where you can summon more cards. Like for instance, performer power, this and that, reduces attack points. And the other card, this and that, boosts defense points and brings one card back for a graveyard. Pendulum cards right like that. What they are is that, they're attack cards and their special ability cards at the same time. And when you put them side by side, what ends up happening, is they create a ritual. Not only do you have two special effects on each field because pendulum cards can be attack cards and spell cards, but they go on each side and then you summon your monster. So I'm all like, since I have grenades, since I'm doing a hard, rap profile, since I'm putting one piece in the middle like Nelly, which is what this video is based off of, me putting one piece in the middle, me stopping a street gangster in his tracks, and working my way to be a celebrity. What ends up happening is, I work with Yuya's deck, I call my deck Yuan, and Yuan is based off Nefta Pharaoh, the guy I was making animated music videos for, and B, well, I'll choose Yugi, from Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Moto as Nefta Pharaoh. He's a barrier rapper. He's a Bay Area rapper, just like A40. And, since I was in California, everything, turned out great until I never got, a professional meeting or my signature. I got anything but the signature on TV. I got my name on TV, my Michael and Kelly Michael. Do you know how fucking treacherous, back in the days where I wasn't getting pussy, Lily, and Michael was there. Now Michael was calling my name. I visibly see him, side by side. Yeah. I was watching that shit with my grandma. Nice try. Okay, so anyway, I was at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Club. And what ended up happening one day was I went to the actual graveyard that was in the club. I started, getting a whole bunch of special abilities from cards in the grave. And then I started competing with other people. So what I did was I had a balance. Since I chose Yu-Gi-Oh! I had a pendulum deck, but I also had a special ability deck that was based off Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. And the one that's above, Arc 5 was Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, and I was watching the anime, side by side. So before we get into that, what ended up happening was I was losing, but I was winning on the outside with strategy because it was a catch trade too. I didn't get women, I can get women in real life. I had a couple of baby mamas, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Was full-on nerd. But what I learned from the animation replica Sabo, literally, is if I have, a longer game to play like World of Warcraft, literally, it reduces anger, literally, and it gives me, cause and effect. Because it's something unlimited, unlike when you're making an A and B, when you have to use the same clips over and over and over again, because there's only so many clips in the anime. So what ended up happening was, when my graveyard, deck, literally, in my new deck, I got structured for Anthony, when I started paying for cards, and strategizing with cards at the same time, I became unstoppable. I became unbeatable. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, literally, is where they have digital monsters that come out, literally. So, when I was, facing people in the tournaments, they were using cards from Vrains. So here's what ended up happening. I had run Vrains cards, I had a whole bunch of other pendulum cards that would catch them off guard, including Purple Poison Magician, and here's the kicker, I had Black Rose Dragon, and Black Rose Dragon, literally, is a synchro summoner. I would do shit like I would have Gaga Shield. You know how Goshen loves, Essence Goshen Forward loves Lady Gaga. I would have Gaga Shield, which destroys, the other opponent, but it's for spellcasters. I had a spellcaster deck, so I had Gaga Shield, and what I would have is I would put Gaga Shield down defense Lily, and then I would have Lily Lady Evaculi, Lily in attack mode, Lily, and I would guard the spellcaster, Lily, and when I would load up my Yuya deck, Lily, with the pendulum cards, Lily, I would have, a special ability, and then every once in a while, Purple Poison came up, and I would start to compete with the blue cards. And I have Borreload's Dragon in my deck, which destroys all special abilities of anybody on the field, which has 3,000, attack points, which is, a Vrains monster. So bottom line, I was black in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was competing with the blue cards. And there was Borreload Dragon. I bought Borreload Dragon, and I started buying a whole lot more Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. And my mom literally saw that I was literally paying for stronger cards when I was fitting in. It astonished her because she was wondering when I went on a plane, to cosplays conventions and shit that how is he so mature and how is he growing, and so what ended up happening was I ended up getting the strongest indication by playing Juan in the Yu-Gi-Oh club. When he had Borlo Dragon is that can I beat him? So I was a mid-tier player. So if you talk about all around the world, it's just like fucking Storm. It's still 7,000. Compared to 1 fucking trillion basically. Lately I am ranked at Yu-Gi-Oh. If you want to push it, if you don't use control decks, if you don't use 100% control decks. Now my cards, my deck, still don't sync into each other 100%, but it catches you off guard. Like when I went to Domino's house, I was able to OTK. So anyway, for the current situation, Deku and Yugi are supposed to be a Brick House Bandit. If you just want to know, and that is a very important aspect of this update video.